Well, joining me now is Yasmin Mohammed, one of the people who helped campaign for Rahaf. She escaped her own family after being forced into marriage and is the founder of Free Hearts, Free Minds, an organisation which helps individuals who've left Islam. She joins me live via Skype from Vancouver. Thank you very much for speaking to us. You helped to bring the story of Rahaf al-Qunun to the attention of the world. What is your reaction now? Are you relieved that she's been granted asylum in Canada?
Absolutely over the moon. I'm so happy that she's safe, and I'm extra happy that she's here in Canada with me. It was very scary for a while there because just a couple of years back, Dina Ali was going through the exact same situation where she was tweeting madly from the Philippines saying, "Please help me." And we weren't able to help her, and she ended up being duct taped and put back on a plane back to Saudi Arabia, and nobody has heard from her since. So as soon as this started, we all got that sense of deja vu, and we all felt this frantic sense that we need to react strongly, swiftly. Thousands of people weren't sleeping. We were just tweeting all night long, trying to get the attention of anybody, lawyers, journalists, human rights people, to support Rahaf. And thankfully, this is a very, very happy ending to that scary story.
And it's interesting that you mentioned the case of Dina Ali, and that concluded in a very different way. There have obviously been some passionate views on Twitter that this could possibly herald or prompt some sort of change for the struggles facing Saudi women. But given the kind of inconsistency with the way these cases are approached, is that perhaps over-optimistic?
I don't think it's over-optimistic. So in my organization, Free Hearts, Free Minds, we work with a lot of people, like you mentioned, that have left Islam but are stuck in Muslim-majority countries. And it is Saudi Arabian women who really feel like the situation that they're in right now is so brutal, is so dire, that they're willing to take unbelievable risks to escape. And even if their chance is 1 out of 100, they're willing to take it. Like, of course, Rahaf is a success story, and they know of the other stories. They know of the 2 girls that were duct taped and thrown into a river in New York. They know of all of these situations, and those stories scare them. But knowing about Rahaf and knowing that she succeeded is going to give them that boost that they need in order to find the courage and find the strength to work for their own freedom, to fight for their own freedom. And it's not just women in Saudi Arabia, but it's women in Iran as well who are being imprisoned for removing the scarf off of their head. It's women in Pakistan, it's women in Iraq, it's women in Egypt, it's women in all of those countries where they're fighting for their basic rights, and they feel like they're not being heard either in their countries or by the Western international community. So Rahaf is a success story because it lets them know that they are being heard.
Yes, and it is important to highlight the plight of women in different parts of the world and in different countries in the region. But I suppose in this particular part of the region, there is now, it's definitely cast a spotlight on this restrictive male guardianship law.
Yes, absolutely. Women in Saudi Arabia have a completely different circumstance than any of the other women that I've mentioned. It is the worst possible situation. They are actually living in an open-air prison. Women have guardians, like you mentioned. They have to have a male guardian that gives them permission for anything. They can't even leave the home without this male guardian giving them permission to do that. They can't open a bank account. They can't go to the doctor. They can't do anything. In fact, they need their male guardian's permission in order to go to the police station to report that they are being abused, in some cases by their male guardian. So it's an absolutely repressive, barbaric law that these women are willing to risk their lives to escape.
Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts with us, Yasmin Mohammed.
Thank you for having me.